that in prayer. He said he used to keep a little notepad on his end table next to his bed, and sometimes 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, he'd wake up and he'd just have this flooding of this and that and this and that, and as he would write that down and he'd look at it, he'd go, "Wow, okay, I'm seeing it. That's what I've been praying for." E.T., S-E-C-T, kingdomhealing.com. You can find E-T-E-A, E-T. That is also, there's turkey rhubarb in that. That will also help with peristaltic action. Cascara sagrada is another one, that peristaltic action, that squeezing motion will get that bowel moving and squeezing and getting things to move through. When you have enough fiber in the diet, it moves through very easily. When you don't have fiber in the diet, it gets sticky. It just, that peristaltic action is really not working. It's hard to move that through. Colitis, Crohn's disease, colitis, the itises, inflammation, Crohn's disease, ulcers. People have lost large sections of their small intestine from Crohn's disease. And it's a matter of it's a lot of times related to incredible stress. An acidic digestive tract, where the body is too acidy. You got to get that body into alkaline balance. Get that terrain into balance. What you use for that is a product called CLTX. It's wonderful. It's specifically for colitis and Crohn's. Intestinal Soothe and Build is for autointoxication. It's for celiac disease. And we see that, when we do not pay attention to what we're eating, after a certain, amount of times, things start really breaking down. And there's a lot of adhesions in the bowel, in the colon as well. And those adhesions from, say, past surgeries, or endometriosis, excess of endometrium cells, can attach and create adhesions from the bowel to the ovaries or to the fallopian tubes or the uterus. Extremely painful. Colitis and irritable bowel conditions, a lot of times they're associated with the psychological distress. So, there's the Bach flower remedies. I've talked about that.
Right.
There's the release it. Get rid of all that anger. But you got to walk away from whatever's causing it, too. Otherwise, order a 12-pack. Drink a shot of those a day. But, so the ballooning, talked about that. You need more fiber. The diverticulitis, ulcerations. Again, ulcerations, those are acid conditions, irritations. When you have all of those irritations cause inflammation. So with those inflammations, you've got to stop breaking things down. You need to alkalize the body. You have to balance the terrain. And start getting some quality nutrients into the body. The alkaline water. I don't have their telephone number on me today, but alkaline water is a way to really get your body's terrain into balance very, very quickly. So that's it for today's show. Next week we'll move on to the nervous system.
Very good. Okay.
So last week we had the digestive tract. This week, the large intestine, and next week we'll move on to the central nervous system, and that involves, the brain and the whole sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, and get that explain to you and what things you can do to bring balance and feed and nourish. And it's all about, you don't have to focus on disease or a disease name. You
Right.
don't have to focus on that. You just want to focus on getting the nutrients into the body that are needed for specific areas of the body. And when you deliver that nutrition, the body does an amazing thing. It heals itself. You give it the nutrients that it needs to overcome anything that you're facing, as far as a health challenge. So, you've been listening to Kingdom of Healing, and this is Kimberly Mateo, and you have a wonderful, blessed week, and talk to you next week. Bye-bye.